Message from Kevin Annett to be read out at the UK End Child Abuse March and Rally, London, Trafalgar Square, September the 29th, 2012. Greetings everybody, this is Kevin Annett, Eagle Strong Voice. I am unable to speak to you in person today as we had planned and as I very much hoped to do. The British Home Office, for no stated reason, has chosen to bar me for now from England. Apparently, the fact that the Crown and the Church of England have helped to exterminate other nations and children for centuries is not considered a crime by Home Secretary Theresa May, but me speaking publicly about that extermination is. This is the second time that I have been prevented by the British Home Office from addressing a public rally in London on institutional child trafficking in your country. Now that's what I'd call an admission of guilt on their part. For now that the victims of crimes against children by church and state are uniting across borders and are naming those in power who are aiding and protecting child rapists, the authorities are obviously worried. Let me say today that all of us have great cause for hope. Now that the world and the British public are awakening to the regime of terror against children that hides behind the mask of government, law and religion. Just this month, on September the 15th, groups of survivors in 7 countries united and began proceedings in our International Common Law Court of Justice to bring charges against the Pope, the Queen of England and many church and government officers for crimes against humanity. These people have been issued public summonses to answer charges of harming children before the world. By taking this step, we are not only confronting child rapists in high places, we are stepping outside the judicial system that aids and abets these criminals and saying that when constituted authority refuses to protect our children and our liberties, then we must do so by asserting our inherent right to prosecute and sentence those who harm and threaten our future. We have taken this step after long and bitter experience has taught us that the courts actively collude with not only individual paedophiles, but with the oldest child-torturing institution in the world, the Roman Catholic Church, by shielding it from prosecution. Despite having signed letters to bishops around the world ordering them to protect child-raping priests, including his own brother, the present Pope Joseph Ratzinger has been told by heads of state in England and America that he is somehow immune from prosecution. Our so-called governments have thereby condemned untold numbers of children to rape and torture. Well, 2 years ago, 20,000 of us told that criminal in Rome what we thought of him when we protested his presence in the streets of London, and that tide of revolt is growing. For today we have resolved to do more than simply protest, for we declare before the world that we will begin to perform citizen's arrest on known child-raping priests and on anyone who protects them, no matter how high their office. In doing so, we are saying that those who violate children have no place in our communities, in our churches, or in our governments. We have also resolved to seize the property and the wealth of any church that traffics in children through the kind of peaceful occupations and reclamations being done by Aboriginal people in Canada. And we have resolved to bring to trial and community sentencing anyone who uses their public office to rape or traffic in children or who protects those who do. We are, in other words, reviving a long and honourable tradition in England of just and lawful rebellion against tyranny. The kind of tyranny that in 1761 padlocked my ancestor Peter Annett into the public stocks at Charing Cross, not far from here, for publicly criticising the Church of England for its corruption. In the past 250 years since then, little has changed in England, it seems. For today, those of us who consistently engage in protest can be labelled as fixated threats to the powerful, and locked away as mental cases under special laws reminiscent of feudal Star Chamber courts. This is how the guilty act when their crimes are being exposed, by stoking fearness so that we will not expose their wrongs. But we are not intimidated, for the lives of our children are now at stake. We are not the criminals, and we know who the real criminals are. So let me end by saying that I will come again to England, the land of my ancestors, to help you in your righteous campaign to defend the life of every child in this country, and to bring to justice and stop forever those who harm or exploit them. I invite all of you to join our common law court proceedings against church and state by joining the dozens of citizen jurors in England who are already part of our court, and by organising common law actions and occupations throughout your land. Please follow our work at www.itccs.org. Let me finish with these words of hope from the poet Percy Shelley, written after the Peterloo massacre of poor people seeking the vote in Manchester in the year 1819. Rise like lions after slumber, in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to earth like dew, which in sleep had fallen on you. You are many, they are few. Thank you, and may we find the strength to persevere and the wisdom to understand why.